Hi guys, hello and welcome to Sports Stars match preview of the Super 12 encounter between India and New Zealand. The two teams will lock horns at the Dubai International Cricket Stadium on Sunday in a very crucial tie. Hi, I'm Ayan and I'm joined by my colleague Amol. Hi Amol, how are you doing?
All well, Ayan. How has the day been?
Well, so far so good. Looks like England are cruising at the moment. Australia just got thrashed by Owen Morgan's men, and pretty much England have their one foot in the semi-finals. What they've also done is they've avoided the possibility of meeting Pakistan in the semis. Moving on to you. You were present on Saturday evening during India's net sessions. What were your takeaways?
The biggest takeaway was I could at least watch them warm up. Not at least, I could watch them warm up.
Yeah.
Period. Okay. Because their batting and bowling drills were going on at the far end of the facility, uh, for which we just did not have any view. So I just hung around for a while, watched the Kiwis do their range hitting bit for a while. Could watch India's warm up, like I said. But later on, we were told that Hardik Pandya did have a ball in the nets, just like he had during the team's midweek optional net session.
Correct.
But can we read anything from that? I don't know. What do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I mean, Hardik Pandya has been bowling in phases for a while now, not just during the World Cup. We saw that happen during February as well this year when England toured India during the test matches intermittently. He was bowling in Chennai at full tilt. A lot of us thought then that, well, this is the time he starts bowling again, but nothing really came out of it. He bowled intermittently here and there. But as you correctly point out, probably premature to read too much into it, whether he'll be able to bowl 4 overs or not. So where does that leave the makeup of the squad? Do you think that gives India an option of maybe playing someone like Shardul on Sunday?
I would actually be happy if Ishan Kishan and Shardul Thakur come in for Hardik Pandya and Bhuvneshwar Kumar.
Yeah.
But I am not sure whether either of that will happen. If at all, the likelihood of India going in with Shardul in place of Bhuvneshwar looks more likely right now. But again, it's like this team, especially with this captain as a trend, that the more you keep persisting with the inclusion or exclusion of a certain player, if you ask them about why isn't Shardul playing, they'll ensure that Shardul doesn't play, like what happened with Ashwin during the England series.
Correct.
And so in that sense, even on Saturday afternoon, we saw one direct question about Bhuvneshwar Kumar's place in the side.
Correct.
If the trend of this captain has to continue, then I wouldn't be surprised if Bhuvneshwar actually ends up playing.
Correct. So yeah, just a quick overview of New Zealand. This India-New Zealand rivalry is quickly becoming a very important rivalry on big stages. The 2019 World Cup semi-final, then they played the World Test Championship final, and now this. Although this isn't still a virtual knockout, would be too premature to call it that. But New Zealand, of course, Trent Bolt has gone on record and said that he would try and do what Shane Afridi did with the new ball. And given India's weakness against left arm pace bowling, how do you see that playing out, especially say Rohit and Rahul versus Trent Bolt? How important will that be?
Exactly. You have kind of hit the nail, Ayan. The fact of the matter is, yet again, the power play is going to be the key for India's batters.
Correct.
The onus is on top three. We have been discussing Hardik Pandya and or Ishan Kishan for so long, for almost 1 week now. But the onus, like I said, lies on the big three. If they can make use of the power play, if they can set the tone in some way, then only the stroke makers like Rishabh Pant or Surya Yadav or Hardik or Ishan, whoever plays, can actually try and take the game away from the opposition. But we saw, like you said, in the 2019 World Cup semi-final, they faltered against New Zealand. Similar thing happened last week against Pakistan over here.
Correct.
So I feel this is the real time. Even not just Rohit and Rahul, even Virat has to actually try and be more aggressive as such. He could get away with it against during the Pakistan game because you had wickets falling up front, then again wickets falling at regular intervals. He could actually get away by playing a subdued knock. But now he can't afford it, or India can't afford it, because besides winning, they also have to keep that net run rate equation always in mind while playing every game for that matter.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, speaking of net run rate, again, they're playing at a venue where teams batting second are having a ball at the moment. Due, no due, doesn't matter. Last 3 games, obviously, we haven't seen much of due, but safe to say that whoever wins tomorrow will look to wins the toss on Sunday, will look to chase. And let's not forget, Adam Milne has been added to the New Zealand squad as well. So if he plays in the 11, that bumps up their pace quotient too. And as you correctly pointed out, it's going to be important how India approaches the power play, because unlike the game against Pakistan, where they lost quick wickets, which sort of again, stopped them from playing freely in the first half, they wouldn't want the same to happen against New Zealand. And a lot of these guys, including Trent Bolt, they've rubbed shoulders with these Indian guys day in, day out during the IPL. They know the pluses and the minuses. So it promises to be an interesting matchup, right?
Exactly. And like you said, the trend more or less seems to be win the toss, field first, win the game. The only exception has been Afghanistan. They have really backed their strength. They feel we don't bother about conditions. We'll bat first, put up a score, and then defend it, primarily riding on their 3 quality spinners. Correct. It has worked for them in the first game. It didn't work for them against Pakistan, but Pakistan is a completely different story. The other teams, like the so-called seasoned teams like India, England, New Zealand, they seem to be assessing the conditions and playing accordingly. So I wouldn't be surprised if the captain winning the toss blindly elects to field.
Correct. So yeah, that's all from our side. It promises to be again an engrossing contest, important for both teams. India, you reckon, Amol, India will sort of start on the back foot, or will they have an advantage given that they are coming after almost a week-long break?
I don't think there is a clear favorite in this match, because all said and done, both teams have considered their first game to the now almost sure that Pakistan is going to be the group leader.
Correct.
So in that sense, both teams are desperate to win. Again, just a polite reminder, don't consider this as a virtual quarterfinal, because Afghanistan is actually the dark horse / giant slayer, whatever you may want to refer to it as. But it's critical for both these teams to actually get their campaign going. So that way, hopefully, we can see a rare, thrilling match on Sunday night.
Yeah, so not a virtual quarterfinal, but a very important game at this stage of the tournament. That's all from our side. We'll be back with more updates from the Sunday night encounter. Both Amol and I will be at the venue, and we'll be getting you updates as and when we come across them. You can follow us at Sportstar Web on all our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Telegram. Until next time, this is Ayan signing off with Amol. Thank you so much.